Hello, darlings. You've all heard of Marilyn Monroe.
Welcome back, darlings. I'm TV host, entertainment journalist, Cognac Wellerlane, and it's New York Fashion Week, and I'm just about to interview fabulous fashion designer, Adrian Alicea. And in just a moment, he's going to talk about his new collection for 2020.
When there's no more opposition, control becomes meaningless.
Okay.
Welcome back, darlings. I'm TV host, entertainment journalist, Cognac Wellerlane, and I have a very special guest today. And as you know, this is September, and the month of September is all about Fashion Week. Well, we just got the green light from Governor Cuomo that New York Fashion Week had happened. And as a result, a lot of fashion designers are now doing a fashion show. Some of them are showing live fashion shows, but they are having a limited audience of only around 50 people, and some press, and others are doing it virtually. So today I have a very special guest. He is a world-renowned fashion designer, Mr. Adrian Alicea. And I am so happy to talk to him and ask him so many questions about what is going on in his life and what he thinks of the world that we live in today, this crazy world. Welcome to the show, Adrian.
Thank you so much, Cognac. It's been so long, but it seems like yesterday at the same time.
It does. Now, Adrian, darling, tell my audience, my first question to you is, tell me, what inspired you to become a fashion designer?
Okay.
You come from a family of 9 sisters?
I have a family of 9 sisters and 2 beautiful brothers, and one of them he passed April 13th due to COVID. We'll get to that.
Yes.
I rest his soul. But
I'm
I
so
think
sorry. So sorry.
Thank you. My brother Raul Alicea, rest in peace. And I think what inspired me was my mom used to sew for my sisters. She would make them tutus, all the same colors when we were little. And she only sewed by hand. So it must have came from Mama Carmen.
Mama Carmen. So that's where the inspiration originally came from your sweet mother, all your beautiful sisters. I've seen some of your sisters. They're big like you. They're tall and big. So now, as you told me just now, you started as a model.
First as a dancer. As a dancer.
Now, you were discovered by Ray Dawn Chong in the famous nightclub, The Tunnel, which we all used to go to, and disco. Remember those days, darling? The discos, those sexy. I always tell people they were sexy, they were hot. Women look like women, men look like men, and some of them look like women too. But we used to have a fabulous time, and we used to go out dancing. And today the kids don't do this. They don't dance. But you were a dancer. And this person, Ray Dawn Chong, he discovered you in the tunnel. And that's how you became a model. Now tell my audience that story. Tell my audience how this all happened, the history of how he discovered you, where, how, when, and how it transformed you into the fashion world.
Okay. Well, I used to work for a very popular store called Charivari. It was on Fifth Avenue. It was a high-end boutique on 57th Street, right by Fifth Avenue. So I was a stock boy there when I was like 18 years old. And I remember Diana Ross and the DuPont family used to come and shop. And I had big, giant curly hair, and all these famous celebrities who just wanted to play with my hair, including Diana Ross. I will never forget. And one day, a friend of mine named Johnny Dynell, famous DJ from the nightclub, he used to DJ at the tunnel. And he called me at the store, and he said, because those days we didn't have cell phones. So he called the store, and I was in my stockroom, and he said, you got to come out tonight. I said, what is it? He said, Terry's coming, which is Terry Mugler, with Suzanne Barsh and Ray Don Chong. Now, Ray Don Chong is a woman who is the daughter of Chong from Cheech and Chong, the guys that would smoke pot from the movie, remember? Cheech and Chong.
Yes,
So,
I remember them quite well.
So Chong's daughter is Ray, and her mother is black. So she's in the color purple. She was Harpo's girlfriend. She came up to me. I was dancing. It was a bunch of people. We already knew he was coming because it was announced. So there was tons of dancers. Of course, I was kind of shy. I've always been kind of shy until they sparked the flame. And then she said to me, she came right up to me. She says, Terry wants to see you dance. And I said, all right. So I just did like a few moves and a little of the voguing mixed with Egyptian and popping and locking. I did a split. I don't know what I did. She lifted me up and she said, come with me, dragged me to him and said, you want to go to Paris? And I said, I don't know if I can go. My mom, I don't know if she'll let me go. Because my mom, she said, no, you stay in New York. We don't care.
How old were you?
I was 21, 1989. I was 21. So I told him it was a pleasure to meet him. And I told him, I get to unpack your beautiful clothing and I put them on the floor because I'm the soft boy. He's like, no. I said, of course. So it was just an honor. And he said, I want you to come to Paris and show me and show the audience of Europe the demonstration of voguing. And you're going to be with Willie Ninja. Willie Ninja died, I think, 2006 or 7. So he got casted at Patricia Field's ball, and I got casted at the Tunnel. And then we met, and he flew us to Paris. And we were the first 2 voguers that ever took voguing to Europe. And it was after Terry Mugler, we did 5 shows for him that same week. It was the couture show. It was amazing. And I remember walking with Iman. Iman was our runway partner.
Oh my God, she's so beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, who gets to walk on the runway for the first time and your partner is Iman, David Bowie's wife? I mean, this is a miracle.
It's like a dream. It's like a dream.
And I honestly didn't really know who she was, but I did.
Well, you were a kid. You were a kid. Yeah. How would you know? I mean, come on.
I didn't know.
You're only 21 years old.
I didn't know. Coming from the Bronx, all I knew was like, I wanted to dance. That's all I wanted to do. Okay. So that was the first time. And then from there, Willie Ninja introduced me to Malcolm McLaren, and we did the famous groundbreaking video called Deep in Vogue and Walt's Darling, which was a global sensation, especially in Europe. And last year, not to skip 31 years later, they showed it at the Camp Museum for 3 whole months, the Deep in Vogue video, at the Metropolitan Museum for the Camp exhibition. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a big surprise because I'm sure the house, Vogue and Anna Wintour and those kids, they don't know who I am, of course, but they know the video because they had the video up. And this was during the whole party and exhibition. I wish I was invited, but I was invited virtually because I was on I was on the video. So that was a great,
transformed you and made you into a star.
It made me, it made me who I am today. So, excuse me.
The word for it. I'm trying to remember what that word is. That was your break. That was the
break.
Yeah.
That was when
in show business, well, I talk like an old, movie star. That was my break. I was discovered. That was my break. So now you also toured with Grace Jones as a professional dancer too.
Yes, with Willie Ninja, I toured with Grace Jones. We went to Munich. We did Osaka. We did about 3 different places, and she is just an amazing, just
person.
over.
Yeah.
And she's so dominant, and it was just so intimidating at the same time.
Yeah,
But a
she
lot of
can
fun.
be very intimidating. Have you kept in touch with her? Are you still in touch with her?
You know, I saw her for her book signing, and you know, it's been so long that she just looked at me. There was tons of people, but remember, I was a kid and really long hair and 160 pounds. I'm like 210 now. So she's just looked at me like, I know those eyes, basically. But we didn't get to speak, and all I just left her alone because there was too many people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those times you don't want to say, remember me, you know. So I just.
I recently interviewed John Turturro. Do you know who he is? John Turturro?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's been in a lot of films, and he was in that movie with Danny Aiello. What was the name of that picture he was in? Do the Right Thing. Do the Right Thing.
The Right Thing.
Right. So he was recently at the International Emmy Awards, and I go to that every year. I don't know if they're going to have it this year. They'll probably have it virtual, like they're having everything. So, but I was on the red carpet, and this was the second time I saw him. And I went over to, actually it was the third time. And, you know, of course now he's a big actor, but we were in high school together. And because I loved show business even back then, we did a scene from Hamlet together. I played Lady Ophelia, and he played Macbeth. And I said, Delahanty High School, it's me. And he was like laughing. So we did the interview, and, you know, he talked about it and all that. So that's how it always is with people that you knew from the past. So that's an interesting story. Like, how did you meet Grace Jones? How did you meet her?
I met her through Willie Ninja. Now, Willie Ninja was like the king and queen. I'm gonna put both titles of Vogue to me. He was in the movie Paris is Burning, and he was like, he's an icon, a pioneer of voguing. So he loved, after the Terry Mugler show and Walt Starling and Deep in Vogue video, Willie asked me, you want to go on tour? Grace Jones said we can dance with her. I'm like, what? Of course. So that's how I met Grace.
Right. You know, of course, I want to dance with Grace Jones. I mean, come on.
I want to dance with Grace Jones. So that's how I've met her.
Crazy. What a story that is.
It's wonderful.
Now, you have transcended. I'm going to take you down the road again. You got into fashion, and you hooked up with Nico. And you started the brand Nico and Adrian. Tell my audience the story behind that.
Well, I was at the David Barton gym. It was 1999, I believe, and I met Nico Urquiza. Nico's background, it comes from architect, and he's also an artist. Nico's great-great-grandfather was the first president of Argentina. He had the San Jose Palace. So Nico always had some aristocratic thing about him, which I didn't even know all this thing, these things about him until we met. Like, wow. So I asked him, let's do it. And he said, I never knew how to design, but he's an artist. So we started designing, and we started just doing these.
You had the idea, and he could draw. We never even drew. We just started making things. And he could draw. I see behind you, like what I'm seeing behind you. This is your new collection. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. So you started to create beautiful clothes together.
We started to create, and we started doing these amazing, crazy, elaborate, just beautiful shows in the clubs, and it started going. And I remember in the year 2003, my friend Jason Farrar, he would always hang out with me, and I asked him, hey, would you feature my work in one of your shoots? Because he worked with the top models. And then he got me the cover of Vogue with Nico. He got our famous helmet. Excuse me. Sorry, I've been dealing with a little bit of. I have asthma. It's horrible. But Nico, Jason Farrar, I asked him, and he put our helmets in the cover of Vogue with Linda Evangelista that Stephen Meisel shot.
Oh, Linda Evangelista, beautiful.
So that was our break with getting into the high fashion world where people knew our name because then it was all over Google. You know, the House of Vogue, from Italian Vogue to the best photographers, including Stephen Klein, David LaChapelle, they all started calling. They will call and say, hey, can we shoot the helmet? But we didn't let a lot of people shoot the helmet because Stephen, of course, said, we already shot it. Whoever wants to shoot it, just make sure whoever shoots it, they are, you know, of a stature, caliber, that it's just, you know, worthy of shooting it. But that helped us a lot. And it just kept rolling in like just a snowball effect. It kept going, excuse me. And
I remember going to one of your shows.
Oh.
I've been to so many of them. But
you've been to so many, yeah.
Yeah, but right before you branched off on your own, I do remember that you had it in some place on a roof.
Oh, that was beautiful.
And I went to that. I've been to a lot of your shows, but one of that particular one, you were on the roof, and you had that actress. What's her name?
Was it Audrey O'Day?
Yes, yes, Audrey O'Day. You were on the roof, and she was one of the models on the show. And Viva Lish was there. I love Viva Lish. And I had the best time interviewing you. And of course, that was when I used to wear my hair.
I love that look. Yeah, even I love that look. And Lady Button.
That hair made me famous, basically. That hair made me famous.
We love that Marie Antoinette meets the 60s.
Yes, Marie Antoinette. Well, darling, I'm convinced that I lived in 2 lifetimes. I'm convinced that I was reincarnated and that I was Egyptian. Because why do I like to wear this kind of wig with the bangs? And I'm also convinced that I lived during the French Revolution, and my life it's like happening all over again because I lived during the French Revolution. The life we're living now is like a revolution.
It is a revolution.
So I'm convinced I lived in both those times. And so now that's why I look like this. But I don't want to talk about me. I want to talk about you. But I love the fact that when you do your fashion shows, they are so theatrical. They are so out of this world. They are so like, it's like the biggest production I've ever seen. You have like 50 models and costumes and all kinds of music and all kinds of acts going on and even outrageous videos. I mean, I remember one show I went to was at Style Fashion Week, and there was this woman, I don't know, maybe it was a man, I don't know, because he had that rubber suit on with the whip, the black leather suit, and he's whipping his slave. The ideas that you come up with to put these shows together, is this all you? Is this all your ideas? Is this everything?
Yes, and yes, I come up with the name. So that show is called World Domination.
Yes, so, World Domination.
Yeah, that name, that collection, World Domination. And the person that played that, it is a transsexual. Her name is Dominique Jackson. She's in the show called Pose with Ryan Murphy.
Okay.
Okay, she's an actress now. Wow. And yeah, so I was using her.
He gave her that part because he saw her whipping the slave.
There you go.
I love it. Now, but before you got to be just Adrian Alicea, tell my audience what happened with you and Nico. You did a split, but you're still friends. You decided to branch out on your own.
Nico and I, of course, we started as friends that turned into lovers, that turned into brothers. That he was an amazing inspiration in my life. I will never forget that man. We just spoke yesterday via WhatsApp. He's in Argentina. We went to Brazil and we built a beautiful home, which is still there. And in 2006, I remember him telling me, I don't think I want to keep doing this because of the fact it's a struggle. And it's always difficult times when you can't find the angel investor, the LVMH Bernard Arnault guy who gives you the millions of dollars to make the brand global, etc. So Nico said, I'm done. We got the cover of Vogue. We dressed so many celebrities. We've done great shows. We were showmen. We did great things, but he wanted to move on to his art. And I said, I respect that. So in 2010, I just started the Adrian Alicea, which is, the Spanish is Adrian, but in English it's Adrian. Alicea is pronounced. And I started my name, I just used my name because I said, with Giorgio Armani, Christian Dior, from Balenciaga to Margiela, these are all their names. Yves Saint Laurent, so I said, I'm going to make my name, my fashion line under my name, because that's what the big guys did. I'm not going to call it some other name. It's my name. And I did it. And it's crazy because in the beginning I said, wow, let's see how this works. But then everybody, especially people that said it in Spanish, Adrian Alicea, it just sounds amazing, they told me. In English, they chop it up and say, Adrian Alicea. No, it's not Adrian Alicea. It's Adrian Alicea. Alicea comes from the year.
Well, I'm Italian, so,
So and guess what? The name is Italian. It's from Sicily.
Well, are you Sicilian? Are you part Sicilian?
Well, the year 397, it was a noble family, Alicea, which in Italy, they call it Alicea.
Alicea, yeah, because they pronounce the C like a ch. Alicea.
And the CE, it's like Versace.
Versace. I think I got a Versace vibe going on right now.
Right now, yeah.
With the headband, like I'm trying to look like Donatella.
And Donatella always said, don't say Versace, say Versace.
Versace.
It's Versace. So the same thing with Alicea, the CE is Alicea in Italy. So when I did some research, it did come, it was a noble family, the year 397 BC. So Alicea, which was Alicea. So obviously my ancestors were Italian. There you go.
They're Sicilian, like me.
Sicilian Messinine.
Oh, are you Messina? Messina?
Yeah, exactly. Sicilian
That's
Messina.
where I'm from. I'm from Messina.
Wow. Look at that.
So we might be related.
We might be related all this time.
Oh, Adrian, I love you. Now, Adrian, I have to ask you, the brand now is amazing. Adrian, your brand is amazing. Tell us about your brand. I see the dress behind you. I see that beautiful feather fascinator. Tell us what this season is going to be all about.
This season, I'm calling this collection Metaphysical Avatar. The metaphysical part, we all know what metaphysics means. I hope that a lot of the viewers that are watching, we are in the now. I'm doing in the now. I work in the now. I just grab fabric, I make things. The avatar, we are God, the universe, gives us this body. It's our avatar. When we leave, the avatar stays. So I see as the models coming in, they're my avatars. The metaphysical part is what I do. I just make things. I don't know how to draw. I don't have a mood board. I just make, I create. So this is how I've been for years. And so this collection is basically, I'm taking it in. I'm going to start the collection with the urban world, how I grew up in the Bronx as a young kid, abandoned buildings. We played with bricks. That's what we played with, little skelzies. It was such a raw and organic and innocent thing that we grew up. So I'm starting the collection with this urban world. And I spent the whole summer in the beach. And a good friend of mine named Tennille Marie, she works with J-Lo. She called me recently, a couple of months ago, and said, a friend of mine is closing her store. It's called Cashmere. And the store, all the fabric
store.
It's a high-end cashmere. So the showroom was closing on 38th Street, I believe, on the 11th floor. I went by, she gave me as a gift over $20,000 of fabric, including this beautiful high-end 100% silk, which I have over 100 yards.
Is that my dress? You better make sure nobody takes that dress.
It only fits you, Cognac. It's yours. So, and it's a one of a kind. And I worked on it yesterday till 4 a.m. This is the piece.
Beautiful. Tell my audience more about the collection. How many pieces are in this collection?
I'm going to try to show 40. I do men and women. So back to the collection.
You always have too many dresses on the runway. 40 or 50, always.
It's a good number, but So I'm going to the beach. She gave me just tons of linens and beautiful fabrics. So I'm going to go from the world of urban, and I'm going to go into the world of resort, of the beach, of just, and then I'm going to go into the edgy.
That. That's me. Adrian, I live in beach clothes because I live a block away from the ocean. I live in Lido Beach. So all I have to do after I'm going to shut this down with you, I'm going to walk to the beach because I only live 1 block from the ocean.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
That's what I did the whole summer. What else can you do when there's a pandemic?
That's what I did.
You do Zoom interviews and you go to the beach.
And I want to show you. Look at this. Hold on.
Oh my God, this is so beautiful.
And
really
it's
beautiful.
Look at
that's
that, Cognac.
Gorgeous. Adrian,
And it's all
gorgeous.
It's all linen. So this right here remind me of the 3 months of going to the beach. My beautiful friend Derek Manigo took me to the beach, and he's like, "Let's go." So as I started creating, I said, "This is it," and I just started creating things. So that's the second section. The third section would be this, and it goes into what I call the COVID / quarantine girls. They're all going to be covered in these beautiful headpieces and matching gowns, which this is one of the pieces right here. This is her headpiece. And of course, she has a bird
Oh
on
my
her
God,
head.
that's gorgeous. It's like what Lady Gaga wore at the awards almost.
Right, and it has the matching gown to go with it. So these girls will close the show out.
You are so innovative. You really are.
Yeah, yes,
You
yeah,
really
thank you. And it all comes from the heart.
See this show when, because I want to put this video up. Are we going to see this?
So a good friend of mine named David Perry, him and his friend, her name is Cleopatra, and she has a line called Cleopatra Couture. And she's in the DMV area. She's also the owner of DMV Fashion Week. They invited me to show October 10 in DC. So bring New York Fashion Week out there, New York designer. So I'm going to do it out there instead of here in New York this season. So, which is good because I'm not finished. So this is all the universe that just given me a whole nother world to show out there.
So the video, you're going to have the video. Are you going to do a video before, or are you going to do the video then?
I will do a video, a promo, and then hopefully I can show the whole video before the show. You know how I do it.
Right.
So I've been shooting it. I've been shooting the collection slowly, but it's looking good. And I will do a nice video right before the show because, you know, and it's crazy how now everybody is doing videos because you remember I've been doing videos for years.
Well, Rocco, that's what Rocco Gagliotti, I interviewed him. He has his, now he's got an app. So if you're interested, you could send it to him. In addition to putting it on YouTube, you can also give it to him because it'll be on his app as well. And he said this is what Fashion Week is going to be all about now. It's not going to be too much about people in the audience anymore. It's going to be, everything is going to be digitized and we're going to see it virtually.
Yes, so we're doing it at a friend's mansion, hopefully in DC. And they're going to come out the mansion and go into the beautiful garden. So the models will be walking in the garden. So I'm very happy for that. This
very, very exciting. And we're really, I wish I had more time to interview you for television because we're pretty much out of time. But we're going to take a look at your video, what you are going to show. I'm going to put it right up here, right after our interview. And everyone's going to see how beautiful your collection is.
And I want to tell everybody if they want to see my work, I'm on Instagram. And
that's what I want you to say. Tell my audience where they can go on the internet to find out more information about you.
I am on Facebook under Adrian Alicea, of course, but I work more with Instagram. Most of my clients and my followers and people that just support and love me on Instagram is I am Adrian Alicea on Instagram. A lot of my pieces, most of them, they are one of a kind. Sometimes I'll do two, depending on the woman, if she wants me to repeat the dress. So I do only one of a kind because nobody wants to be seen with the same dress.
No.
Especially if you have
That's why sometimes a black dress is a good color because black, you could always do something different to it. You can make it look different. You could put like a feather thing over you, or a different color, or wear different jewelry or different accessories. And people won't remember that you wore that dress before. Am I right?
It's absolutely right. And I'm giving back by closing the show with black, a tribute to Black Lives Matter, to Black is Beautiful. Black, you know, a lot of people say, well, the color, we know black is not even a color. And that's what people don't even know. Black is not even a color.
I know that. I know.
You know this. So
yeah.
we're bringing black into, you know, and the name Adrian, I Googled it, and it means black and dark.
Really?
And then in Italy, black means a little boy. I mean, Adrian means a little baby boy.
Negro, something negro, I think they say in Italian.
Yeah, negro. And Adrian in Italy means little baby boy. Adriano.
Adrian, I love you. Tell my audience one more time the website.
The website is www.adrianalicea.com, and Instagram is I am Adrian Alicea. I thank you, Cognac. You are
I love you, and don't go away yet. We'll be back in a moment with more Zoom interviews, darlings. Keep watching.
Okay.
Adrian.
When there's no more opposition, control becomes meaningless.
I'm going to give you a big pink champagne kiss.
Love
We'll be
you.
back, darling, with more Zoom interviews. Keep watching Cognac's Corner. Pink champagne kisses.
Well, I hope you enjoyed my wonderful interview with fashion designer Adrian Alicea. And also, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And as you know, my channel is all about beautiful, pink, girly, wonderful fashions and wonderful pink decor, and also about beautiful clothes and fashion and celebrity interviews on Zoom. So keep watching, darlings. More coming up. But don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I love you all. And pink champagne kisses.
You've all heard of Marilyn Monroe. Some of you know Bridget Bardot. Well, now it's time for the Cognac show. I said Cognac, ooh, ooh. I said Cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm a bubbly blonde, fabulously dressed to impress. One of a kind girl. I was brought into this world wrapped up in pearls. I love to mingle, though my husband reminds me I'm not single. I meet and greet both the famous and the elite. I ride in limousines, drinking the finest champagne, wearing furs, dazzling diamond jewelry. A girl can't complain. I live the upscale life, dining in the finest restaurants, eating the best caviar for free. And no matter how much I enjoy cognac, ooh, ooh, I said cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh.
It's been a Crybaby Productions, darlings.